The Lion City Singapore has for the past 2 days played host to the inaugural Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. It's the dream to win on tour, especially a tour that boasts world-class champions, and today's final round promises to be a battle for the ages. The leaderboard is stacked and oozes class. Former world #1 and Thai teen sensation Atthaya Thitikul will start 4 shots back. Twice a winner in 2022, Thitikul knows how to win and will be eager to spoil the Korean party. Minji Park is in the hunt for win #7 of the year. The more you win, the more you want, and she'll be hard to contain on a course that suits her superb game. Big Mama Sun Juan is looking for her first trophy in 4 years and has steadily climbed the leaderboard to put herself in contention for victory number 36 of her outstanding career. The 6-time KLPGA star So Young Lee is lurking and only 1 shot off the pace. What an early Christmas present it would be for the 25-year-old should she reign supreme. Jung-min Hon has impressed and finds herself poised to strike as she begins her final round assault at the title. But it's 4-time tour winner Ji-young Park who has a 1-shot advantage over the chasing pack. 14 players within 4 shots of the lead. Can she hold on and keep her challengers at bay? It's all to play for at Tanah Merah Golf Club. Welcome to the final round of the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open.
Well, a very good morning and a warm welcome to live final round coverage from the inaugural Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Timothy Lowe here alongside me, Kate Burton in the commentary box. It's a 54-hole event, and let's take you back to what happened yesterday to set us up for what should be a fantastic final round.
Atthaya Thitikul had a round of 69 on day 1, and this was a birdie putt for her to continue to climb up the leaderboard. In it went for a 2 at the 16th. She moved to 5 under.
Prolific winner over the last 2 years, Minji Park. She's bagged a dozen titles, and she was looking for even more of that. A birdie at the 7th to take her to 6 under.
Well, the birdies were plentiful, and for the first round co-leader, Jung-min Park, this was an excellent tee shot at the 6th hole, and an even better putt, a 2, to climb to 8 under par.
Reigning Korean Women's Open champion Hee Jung Lim was in the mood for some birdies. She birdied the 10th hole on day 1, and she would do so again on Saturday with this excellent approach, taking her to 8 under.
And how about this birdie putt at the 3rd for Yoon Ji-jong, fired as 65 on Friday. See her name at the top of the leaderboard, and with putts like that, in it went at 3. She moved to 7 under.
Back in the winner's circle after a 4-year hiatus, So Young Lee in 2022 would continue to turn on the style. An excellent approach to the par 4 third, setting up a birdie to take So Young to -8.
Par 5s, unable to get home in 2 on these long par 5s on the Tampines course, but this from Jung-min Hong, approach with a wedge on the 8th, 9 under to this point, and that was just a kick-in birdie to move to 10 under.
It was one of the hardest holes all week long, the demanding par 3/4, but Ji-young Park would birdie it for a 2nd successive day to take her to 10 under par. Go on to pick up another birdie at the par 5 5th, which moved her to 11 under par for the championship, and that is where she will begin the final round, enjoying a 1-shot lead over a trio of very talented chasers. Jung-min Park, Jung-min Hong and So Young Lee only a shot back, with Yoon Ji-jong 2 behind, just 12 days away from her 22nd birthday.
Well, there hasn't been too much golf so far on this final day. There is Ji-young Park having a look and trying to brace herself for the elements, because there has been a blanket of rain that has fallen steadily over the Tanah golf course. In fact, Tim, over the entire Singapore region. So very few golf shots have been struck so far in this 54-hole championship, and there are the players waiting patiently, trying to, fingers crossed, that they're able to get out on the course.
Yeah, a couple of players already began their second round, so, and they're enjoying a spot of breakfast as your championship leader, Ji Young Park. Is she on the cusp of a second title in 2022? Play was suspended just after 9 a.m. local time, and the rain has not abated yet. That's the current state of affairs up above. Electrical activity in the air, and unfortunately some ponding on the golf course as well, KB.
Yeah, that is going to make it very hard to play. Now, we know how well the golf courses can drain, the garden course and the Tampines course at Tanah, but the course staff will have their work cut out.
Yeah, course superintendent Adrianton certainly will have his hands full to try and get this golf course set for action, should we be able to get out this afternoon. But it's still Ji Young Park as she was overnight, leading by 1. Stick around for some more golf here at Tanah.
Tim, it's frustrating for these players awaiting the final round. They're eager to get going, to play. It's the first event, the season opener on the KLPGA Tour. And people players like Sun Juan, who have a tilt at the trophy, you know, they're ready to strike and eager to play.
And for players who've already gotten their round started, think of the likes of Yeo Min Hwang and Jin Seong Han, who've picked up a couple of early birdies. You know, they want to keep that momentum going. It's just stalled slightly. So Wee Ko, even par through her first 3 holes after that delightful birdie to end her round of 72 yesterday. The low Singaporean to make the 36-hole cut. She's accompanied by terrific teen talent Shannon Tan, who plays out of Texas Tech. Shannon carded a blistering 67 yesterday, second lowest round of moving day, and also recorded her 4th ever hole-in-one in the practice round at the 14th hole. So congratulations, Shannon. What a week to remember.
Maybe catching up on the night's football. I see somebody there looking at the highlights from the World Cup.
Suji Kim, not a big football fan, but just trying to kill some time. Maybe she's just checking her bank balance after her 2 wins this year. Came in back-to-back weeks, 1 Player of the Year. It's been a very productive 2022 for Suji. Certainly plenty to smile about. Has winless coming into 2021, now a 4-time tournament winner, including a major championship at the end of last season at the Haidt Jinro Championship at Blue Heron. That smile hasn't left her face all year long.
Well, there's more than just the golf happening here at the Tanah Golf Club. On Friday, the R&A held the Women in Golf Forum, which brought industry leaders together to explore the initiatives in place to encourage more women and girls in particular to play golf and enjoy successful careers in the sport. Now, the legendary Se Ri Pak was one of the keynote speakers, and also in attendance were members of the R&A, and they shared their ideas about how to grow the game in Asia, because golf is in a very good place right now. Certainly women's golf is here to sparkle in 2023. As we emerge from COVID, we are seeing more and more professional tournaments, but we're not seeing much play right now for this final round of the Singapore Women's Open. And the leader is having to wait patiently. There she is, Ji Young Park.
It's not going to bother her too much. Still enjoying that one-shot lead. Plenty to reflect on. So many good things have happened over the first 36 holes for Ji Young Park. Speaking of which, let's jump into the hot tub time machine and take you back to Friday morning with some highlights from the opening day here. And what a good one to start with, Kate.
Well, most certainly. So Tiffany Chan from Hong Kong, she made a birdie at the 13th, started at the 10th. The sun was shining at this point, and this ball never left the flagstick. The signature par 3 hole, in it went. It was an ace. Celebrating with her playing partners, Jin Seong Han and So Mi Lee. A rare hole-in-one at the 16th for Tiffany Chan, and certainly helped her move up the leaderboard early on, moved to 3 under par. Well done, Tiffany.
on the other side of the golf course. Seo Yun-jung, this was her second shot into the ninth. An accessible pin on day one in the front right section. The 27-year-old stuck that one close. She would pop that one in to get to 1 over par.
And also picking up shots on the course, Si-won Kim, formerly known as Min Sung Kim 5. Good tee shot into 16th, the par 3. And an excellent putt, an excellent 2 there. Moved to 1 under early on.
Ga-young Lee finally in the winner's circle after 70-odd events on the KLPGA Tour. Canned that putt up the hill at the 6th to take her to 2 under par.
The putting was good on Friday, and for back-to-back tour winner So-mi Lee, down the slope at the 7th, finding the bottom of the cup, and that was the 6th birdie, and 6 under she was for the championship.
It was a very poor start for former world #1 and winner of 61, that's right, 61 professional events in her career so far. Ji Shin was 3 over par at this point. It stuck a beautiful approach there into the 7th for birdie.
It was a bit of a sluggish start for Han Sol-ji, 11th on the Korean money list in 2022. This was her 3rd shot, though, at the par 5 8th. Able to dial in close, very nearly went in. So that was a tap-in birdie, helped, got a shot back on the course.
Nobody got off to a faster start on day one than Hejin Choi after a brilliant rookie season on the LPGA Tour. Back amongst old friends, the KLPGA Tour. That was her 3rd birdie in a row to start her opening round.
On the 8th hole, we saw the ace from Tiffany Chan. And this was a lovely putt, rolling it beautifully on these Tampines course. Greens rolling at 10.5 on the stimp meter, and players taking full advantage of the perfect conditions.
Well, Seung Hui Ro has only got 1 top 10 in 2022, and that came at the Korean Women's Open. But this was a delightful shot coming into the 10th. That set up an opening birdie for her on day 1.
It was a solid start for Hyung Kyung Park, also known as Cutiful. Par 5, abbreviated follow-through, staring this down, admiring it, pin high. She would go on to make birdie and move to 7 under.
Making her first official start as a fully fledged KLPGA Tour member after winning the Dream Tour money list in 2022. Seo-yeon Kim too wasted no time racking up the birdies. That on the 6th took her to 2 under par.
The 7th hole, the par 4, all the way down the right-hand side. Excellent approach from Yoon Ji-jong. And this putt from down the slope, right to left curler, down the bottom of the hole. And she moved to 2 under.
Well, at this point, So-young Lee was 2 over par and birdieless through her first 5 holes on Friday. But this one of the putts of the day, uphill right to left her for about 80 feet. In it went for her first birdie of the week, taking her to 1 over par at that stage.
The greens on this layout are huge, and they are full of humps and hollows, but Sun Ju-an managed to find one of the flatter putts. This was at the 8th, 2 under at this point. Not for long, as that dropped into the hole, and she moved to 3 under.
From a 35-year-old to a 19-year-old phenom, rookie of the year, Ye-won Lee popped that one in for birdie at the 8th to get her to 3 under par.
Well, also just 19 years old, but a 2-time winner on the LPGA Tour this season, Attia Titikan. Her approach to 7. Brilliant. Summed up her year. It was an easy birdie for Titikan.
Well, Big Mama, as she's known, 28 times a winner on the Japanese Tour, has 7 KLPGA Tour victories. And she was dialed in at the 9th. That beautiful wedge setting up a birdie to take her out in 32, 4 under par.
Ideal scoring conditions. This was So-young Lee at the 9th. Up the slope. Moved it from right to left and judged it perfectly. Walked in and got it in afterwards as well.
She would turn in even par after a slow start, but there was nothing slow about the start of Ji Young Park. She went out in 4 under par 32. and continued the birdies with that at the 10th.
So many good players on the KLPGA, but none more dominant than Minji Park. She's won 6 times this season and 6 times last season, 12 wins in the last 2 years. And this shot, the approach to 9, is the reason why. When you dial in your wedges that well, that accurately, that is why you find yourself at the very top of the money list in 2022.
Last but at the top of the leaderboard after 18 holes of play, it was Hyun Park and Yoonji Jeong after matching bogey-free 65s, lurking a shot further back. It's Ji-young Park and Sun Ju-won, but a host of talented contenders was stacking up behind the pair at the top. So-mi Lee, Hee Jong Lim, all looking to topple that lady who still is hanging out at the clubhouse. We're in a weather suspension right now in the final round of the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Ji-young Park perhaps heading off for a spot of breakfast, and why wouldn't you? It's a terrific spread that Tanamera Country Club have put on this week for the players.
It certainly is, yeah. What a wonderful host and what a super venue it has been, Tanamera. It's played host to other professional golf tournaments this year. It's the 3rd one of the year, 2 men's events. It's also played host to the Lexus Cup that was held on the garden course in the HSBC Women's World Championship, so they know certainly how to stage a world-class event. But with 18 holes remaining, it is Ji-young Park in this weather delay that has a slender 1-shot lead.
Certainly have to give full credit to Club President Ronald Ong and his amazing team here for the wonderful hospitality and how well everyone's been taken care of this week. Adrian Tung, the course superintendent, can be very proud of how the Tampines course has stacked up through so many top-level competitions that have been staged here at Tanamera, as you said, throughout the course of 2022.
Oh, but haven't they got to be frustrated at seeing this rain, which is proving to be relentless right now? Showing no signs of abating, but the players waiting patiently, eager to get out onto the golf course. We know how well the golf course can drain. It's technology these days.
Yeah, Song-Hui Ko, low Singaporean at the moment, enjoying breakfast with good friend Nicholas Chiam, who was caddying for Jamie Young earlier on in the week. Song-Hui, 35 years of age, currently 4 under par, itching to get out there. Well, as you mentioned, Kate, the course does drain beautifully, and Adrian Tung is very good, but he's not a magician. It's going to take a Herculean effort to get that course ready for play should the rain abate and the lightning break up overhead.
Yes, it'll be squeegees at the ready, or sub-air system, I believe, that is in place under the greens here that does make them drain incredibly quickly.
Spot of breakfast for Yoonji Jeong and company as they wait for, hopefully, some good news. It is frustrating, but having said that, Kate, lived here for all my life and you've been here for many a year. It's just part and parcel of playing golf in the tropics.
Well, we're enormously grateful to our sponsor, Hana Financial Group, and what a pleasure it is to hear from the Hana chairman, who have been great supporters of women's golf in Asia for several years now.
안녕하십니까? 하나금융그룹 하명주 회장입니다. 하나금융그룹은 전 세계 25개국에 총 208개의 사무소를 통해서 국내 금융회사 중 가장 큰 글로벌 네트워크를 운영하고 있으며 함께 성장하고 행복을 나누는 금융의 실현을 위해 최선의 노력을 다하고 있습니다. 아시아 태평양 지역 최대 금융의 허브 도시 국가인 싱가포르에서 본 대회의 타이틀 스폰서로 참여하게 되어 매우 영광스럽습니다. 특히 본 대회는 싱가포르 여자 골프의 내셔널 타이틀 대회로서 올해 첫 창설되는 대회로 KLPGA를 대표하는 탑 선수들과 아시아 태평양 지역 총 14개국의 스타 플레이어들이 한자리에 모여 선의의 경쟁이 펼쳐지고 있습니다. 본 대회의 성공적인 개최를 기대하면서 아시아 태평양 지역의 여자 골프의 부흥이 될 수 있는 중요한 첫걸음이 되기를 기원합니다. 싱가포르 골프협회, 타나메라 컨트리클럽 등 본 대회를 준비하는데 많은 도움을 주신 모든 관계자 및 후원사 여러분께 진심으로 감사의 말씀을 전합니다. 다시 한번 본 대회 개최를 축하하며 KLPGA 대표 선수, 아시아 태평양 지역 참여 선수들의 멋진 플레이로 최고의 대회가 되길 응원합니다. 감사합니다.
And our sincere thanks to the chairman of Hana Financial Group for sponsoring this wonderful tournament, the Singapore Women's Open here at Tanamera Golf Club. We're still in a rain delay, so why don't we bring you up to speed with more highlights from this championship so far. And let's start with the 17th hole and the leader, Ji Young Park.
Yeah. 66 to open on day one. Already picked up a birdie at the 14th, having started on the back nine. It's a fine approach to the back level of the 17th, en route to a birdie, taking her to 8 under par. She was making moves early doors on Saturday.
Well, it was an opening round of 69 for Atia Titikan, and then this birdie opportunity at the 16th. How beautifully still she stayed over that putt, rolled it in for a 2, climbed to 5 under.
154th on the Rolex Women's World Rankings is Yu Ting-Shi, enjoying the highest position she's ever sat in Women's World Golf. And with putts like this dropping in at the 17th, you can see why that took her to 6 under.
Great hole location on 17 in that back right segment. Jin Hee-im found the putting surface and found the correct level and took full advantage. An excellent 3, and she climbed to 4 under.
23-year-old Jung Mi-hwang, winner on tour for the very first time in 2022, was looking for more glory. A brilliant second shot here into the long par 4 second, using the contours beautifully, threaded that one down, gave herself a look at a birdie, which would take her to 2 under par.
It's such an enticing tee shot over the water at this par 3 16th. For Chae Eun Lee, having a good look at the A-time and the yellow ball, because it went right behind the hole, but she did walk away with a 2.
Jin Hee-im picked up her second title of her career this year in 2022 at the Macomb Mona Park Ladies Open, and she bent this one in perfectly to get to 5 under par with a birdie at the second.
The 26-year-old Ji Young Park, 4th hole, had to be on the correct level. She did just that with the tee shot and snuck it in the side door for a 2. Got to 10 under.
So Young Lee was a winner in her rookie season all the way back in 2016. She's picked up 5 more titles since. She was dialed in here. Brilliant second shot into the par 4 third, with a birdie taking her to 8 under par.
It's a very good 3 to walk away with at the 3rd. And that was the opportunity that Yoon Ji-jong had. What a roll on these smooth greens. Excellent 3, and she would climb to 7 under.
Ji Young Park, your championship leader, was working off back-to-back birdies at 4 and 5. This a lovely tee shot into a right pin position on the uphill par 3 6th. Amazingly, she would miss that putt, but it wouldn't bother her. She was at 11 under par.
So 11 under par was setting the pace in round 2. Yu Ting-shi a few shots back, so had to start to close the gap and went about it just the right way. That was an excellent birdie at 6.
Piling the pressure on the championship leader was the 2022 Korean match play champion Jung Min-hong, the 20-year-old, with a dazzling approach into the par 5/8. That was a birdie that took her to 10 under par.
World number 45 and just a rookie, 19-year-old sensation Yi Won Lee. Her approach to 7. Brilliant. Playing with a maturity well beyond her years. That went in, and she got to 5 under.
Well, at this point on day 1, So Young Lee was 2 over par standing on this tee. She blitzed a couple of birdies coming home, and she would continue her love affair with the par 3/6. That delightful tee shot setting up a birdie for the 2nd successive day to move to 9 under, but she wasn't done just yet, Kate.
No, liked plenty of the holes on this layout. her approach to 7, pinning that back left-hand plateau. And she found that back left-hand plateau, zeroing in on the flag. 9 at that point, that went in. She got to 10 under par.
Song Yi-an hasn't won since 2020. The 31-year-old short-sided bunker on the 11th hole, landing it in the perfect spot. Flagstick doing its job in that one to take her into red figures.
So many great players on the KLPGA. This is a 12-time winner in the last 2 seasons, Min-ji Park. 3-time major champion as well. Oof! Rattled that one home on 7. Climbed to 6 under.
Last year's Rookie of the Year, Ga Eun-song, outdueled Min-ji Park at the Daibo House D Open for her second KLPGA Tour title this year. A delightful wet shot into the par 5/8, setting up a birdie to move the diminutive Korean to 7 under par.
Well, it's an entertaining hole, the 9th. This was Soo-yeon Jang. Hole located all the way at the back. Had to get it all the way back, and that's exactly what she did. It was a tap-in birdie for Jang, moved her to 7 under.
There's more than one way to birdie the 9th hole, however. Local favourite Sok Hui Ko, 68 on day 1, was 1 over par to this point on day 2, but a nice way to end the day. A 72 for Sok Hui leaves her at 4 under through 36 holes.
Hyun Park made her presence felt after firing that 65 on the opening day. This birdie pump. But after an excellent tee shot at 6, she was making moves, 8 under par.
As was Hee Jung Lim, no stranger to taking it deep, set the scoring record at the Korean Women's Open earlier this year. She was in the mood for birdies again, a brilliant shot, setting up a birdie at the 10th to move to 8 under.
At the 13th, after an excellent drive, splitting the fairway, this was the approach from Han Sol-ji. Able to toss this up in the air, get it to land soft and all over the pin. What an approach from Han Sol-ji.
Well, there were 6 players bogey-free after 18 holes. There was only So-mi Lee left at this point in the championship, and she was collecting plenty of birdies as well. A slippery downhill putt at the 12 deposited in the center of the cup to take her to 7 under par.
And so, sadly and frustratingly, the rain hasn't stopped. The course is not playable, and what that means is that player there, Ji Young Park, the 26-year-old, has claimed her 5th win on tour in her young career. 11 under par was indeed the magic number. She had that 1-shot lead overnight. This is the trophy that she wins in 2022, the inaugural Singapore Women's Open, as well as a check for 198,000 Singapore dollars.
You see plenty of water falling from the sky already today. I'm sure Ji Young Park's not going to mind the traditional showers of celebration at the conclusion of this rain-shortened Singapore Women's Open. Congratulations, Ji Young Park, a winner for a 2nd time in 2022 and a 5th time in her career. What a Christmas present for the 26-year-old.
Yes, didn't realize that she would need the waterproofs when she was in the clubhouse, but what a victory, an unexpected victory, and an early Christmas present indeed for Ji Young Park. It was rounds of 66 and 67 for the Korean, and that birdie at the par 5 5th proved to be the difference. So congratulations to Ji Young Park. But from our entire crew, it's a soggy goodbye from Singapore. We look forward to you joining us next year, though, for the Singapore Women's Open.